All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachai, Kodash. Double honor to apostles of Great Millstone. And salutations to elect, which you hope to be. It's your brother Hawaii from GMS Chicago. Got a quick little lesson, you know what I'm saying? Because look, the scriptures, when you think about script, you think about a movie. This is the Heavenly Father's movie, This message is to you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Puerto Ricans, and Mexicans in confusion of faces whose bloodline go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who are Israelites, whose spirit bear witness that they are child of the Heavenly Father, and the Heavenly Father's name is Yahweh, who the world instantly calls Jehovah God, and the Heavenly Son's name is Yahweh Shai, who the world instantly calls Jesus Christ, or Jesus Christos, or Yeshua, or Yeshaya, or Yahweh. So we refer to the Bible as the scriptures as well. There's another name for it. Script goes back to what is placed in a movie. So this is Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai's movie. You know what I'm saying? And every great movie, you know what I'm saying, it has the towards the end is where majority of where the action is happening. You know what I'm saying? Here it is. You got all these other countries and stuff pretty much hating America, like scripture says in Revelations that they shall hate the whore, just like in the book of Joel when it says that they shall hate the whore. You know what I'm saying? We're coming into that climax of things, and one of the climaxes are Jacob's trouble, man. You know what I'm saying? Which all Israelites will go through, which some Israelites are probably going through already. You know what I'm saying? Because other places, they already going through the hyperinflation. They already going through cannibalism. You know what I'm saying? And isn't according to Deuteronomy 28 and 64, the nation of Israel have been scattered to the four corners of the earth. So in certain other places where they already going through troublous times, you know what I'm saying? They already in the midst of Jacob's trouble. You know what I'm saying? And I want to start off with Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And only ones that's going to be saved out of it are the elect, the 144,000 and the 1/3, man. The nation of Israel. Of course, the heathens are going to be a part of this too. You know what I'm saying? But hey, the thing is that it's going to land on Jacob, man. You know what I'm saying? This time frame, this when it says day, the word day goes to Yawum, the Yahweh and the Ma Yawum, you know what I'm saying? But it's really talking about a specific time, because it's not just going to happen for one day. It might happen for a year. It might happen for 2 years. It might happen for 3, 4, 5. You know what I'm saying? That's why it says in Isaiah 33 and 6, it says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time and strength for salvation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we don't know how long it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? But we know that it's going to be for a certain period of time. You know what I'm saying? Where you're going to have to know how to do things. You know what I'm saying? This is Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. And the ones that's going to be written in the book are the 144,000 and the 1/3. The 144,000 consisting of 12,000 from every from the 12 tribes, for every single tribe, you know what I'm saying, and in the nation of Israel, which are just men, you know what I'm saying, the government body, and the 1/3, which consists of men, women, and children of the nation of Israel, man. You know what I'm saying? They're the only ones that's going to be able to get through it, man. You know what I'm saying? And for like a little sense, when you read the book Luke, the 21st chapter, it kind of goes into, when Titus Vespasian's son, Roman general, you know what I'm saying, when he was pretty much in 70 AD, brought in troops to go in and seize Jerusalem, man. You know what I'm saying? Scriptures talk about woe to them that are with child, the baby that gives suck. You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, when there's no food like that, that baby can't really get the nutrients, you know what I'm saying, to grow stably. You know, you over here trying to run away from troops and stuff, and your baby get to crying and reveal your location. You know what I'm saying? Or your baby shitting in the diapers and you don't got no extra diapers. Now it's a heavy stench and the dogs can smell you. You know what I'm saying? You know? But the thing is that the Lord is going to save the ones who's part of the elect that he had deemed to be his elect ever since from the foundation of the earth began, man. You know what I'm saying? Those ones is going to be saved, you know. You know, because guess what? According to Revelations 12:12, Esau is going to come down like a great flood, come down with great terror because he knows that he only have a short period of time. He's going to do everything that he can to keep his kingdom going. You know what I'm saying? And what he going to use? His best weapon, his blessing, the sword. You know, this is this is Second Esdras chapter 2 verse 15. Chapter 15 verse 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." You know, because according to First John, the second chapter, it says that if you have the love of the world, the love of the Father is not in you. You know what I'm saying? And you want the love of the Father to be in you because guess who's going to really ultimately be saving you out of these jams? You know what I'm saying? It'll be the Lord. So you want to be on his side. According to Matthew 6:24, it says that you could not serve two masters. You know what I'm saying? You got Israelites out here that serving two masters, man. You know what I'm saying? And with them serving two masters, it's going to be a master that's going to fail you and it's going to be a master that's going to prevail with you. You know what I'm saying? You know? So if you want to continue, and that word woe means destruction. You know what I'm saying? If you want to follow the ways of the world and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Hey, guess what? You're going to get destroyed. If you caught up with the affairs of this life, you're going to get destroyed because your mind is not focused on the light. It's focused on the darkness, you know? Verse 15, it says, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh." You know what I'm saying? You know? So, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And it says, "And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." You know what I'm saying? People are going to go against each other. Like if you ever seen the movie Detroit, you know what I'm saying? How people was like willing to sit up here and rob each other and stuff, you know? It also says, actually, next scripture, you know, pretty much people shall be going against each other, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, because it is gonna, cause it happened in, it was a while back in Las Vegas when they wasn't really getting so many supplies and stuff. People was killing each other over supplies. You know what I'm saying? So how much more in the United States where everybody got guns? You know what I'm saying? You know, like in the book of Eli and stuff, what happened? Women was being used for bait just to capture men because they had supplies. You know, that's gonna happen. You know, that's gonna happen all over again. Like it says in Ecclesiastes 1:9, there's no new thing under the sun, man. You know what I'm saying? You know? So, hey, but back then, you know, because it's called Jacob's trouble. So Jacob, you know what I'm saying, our forefather, you know what I'm saying? He went through a troublous time. The nation of Israel is going to go through a troublous time. You know what I'm saying? Verse 16. So like it says, "And one people shall stand up and fight." Verse 15, it says, "One people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in the hand." So meaning everybody's going to try to use whatever weapon that they can just to get what they need. You know what I'm saying? You know, you'll see how much pity that a person will have when it comes down to a little child holding a whole loaf of bread and stuff. But yeah, he got a family or she got a family back at the crib. You know what I'm saying? If she ain't taking him in or he ain't taking him in amongst his own family and stuff, more than likely he going to take that bread and leave that child out there starve. You know what I'm saying? It says, verse 16, it says, and swords in their hand, pretty much whatever weapon, hammers, knives, you know what I'm saying? Butter knives, anything sharp, you know, weapons going to be created. They show you that off the game, The Last of Us. How if you grab a stick, how you could attach nails to it, man. You know, to attach scissors to it, man. Hey, that's going to happen again, man. Anything where you could thrust somebody through and stop them and slow them down, this, that, and the other, or even kill them, people going to use those because it's going to be a dire situation. It's going to be the purge, you know. You know, verse 16, it says, "For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes." You know what I'm saying? There's a TV show called Quarantine where it was a bunch of gangbangers, you know what I'm saying, or bandits and stuff, and they knew that it was going to be a time with where the government was going to bring food, and their whole plan was to sit up there and go against the government, even if they was heavily armored, you know what I'm saying, with newly weapons and everything to take that food. You know what I'm saying? These people, Jake ain't gonna care, because the thing is, I heard from a wise man. He says that you could take anything away from Jacob, but as soon as you take food away, that's when niggas gonna really show their asses, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's gonna the scriptures talk about spirits of vengeance in Sirach or Ecclesiasticus in Apocrypha chapter 39. You know what I'm saying? How it could be men out here or even women out here, you know what I'm saying, where no matter how many times that you strike them down and stuff or shoot them, this, that, and the other, they still up and running with full strength like you never shot them in the first place. You know what I'm saying? The strange apparitions are most definitely finna come too, like in the days of Egypt, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be horrible and crazy out here, you know? You know, people going to go against the government. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be flipping over cars. You know, it's gonna be fires everywhere you see. You know what I'm saying? Fires in houses, people screaming. You're gonna see martial law. You know what I'm saying? You know, and people gonna be willing to kill or be killed in that day. You know, and it says and the course of their action shall stand in their power. Verse 17, it says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able," because they're going to start cutting things off. You know what I'm saying? They're going to start cutting the train ways. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like the major place where you could, the major way of travel to far distances. They're going to cut that off. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to be trying to gather in and they don't want nobody fleeing. You know? Like the scripture says, when they say peace and safety, then shall sudden destruction come in Thessalonians, man. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to say this is a peaceful way. But really, all they trying to do is put you in a FEMA camp. You know what I'm saying? And if you ain't trying to deal with their philosophies or this, that, and the other, they got guillotines to cut your neck off. You know what I'm saying? They got torture tactics to slowly try to get you to change, man. You know what I'm saying? And they most definitely going to do that to the men of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? The ones that's going to be martyrs. You know what I'm saying? The scripture also says that back in Jeremiah 30:7 that Jacob shall be saved. You could get locked up and an angel will let you out like he did Peter or Paul. You know what I'm saying? The Apostle Peter or Apostle Paul. You know? So we gotta lean onto y'all about Shim Y'all Shine, not to our own understanding, because the ones that's gonna be into the world, you know what I'm saying? When it says woe unto the world and them that dwell in, they're going to lean onto their own understanding. They're not going to lean onto Yahweh Shem Yahshai, as it says in Proverbs 3:5. You know, verse 18, it says, "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled." You know what I'm saying? And this is a powerful place. You know what I'm saying? Because America pushes out that powerful vibration. You know what I'm saying? Here it is. It's just one nation versus everybody else. They got the same guns. You know what I'm saying? And we still going to win. They put that in their TV shows. They put that in their movies. They put it in animation. They do it all the time and stuff. But in a real life situation, that's not finna happen. You know what I'm saying? You one dude, you got one gun, and everybody else got bazookas. And they used to be your friends, but now your enemies. You're not winning. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're not winning. You know. And this is part of the end phase of the movie. You know what I'm saying? You know? But it says back in verse 18, it says, "Their houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor." So here it is. Y'all been short me down, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Man, rotate, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, pass the blunt, this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's gonna be people like that. It's gonna be homeboys that rose up from the get-go. I forget what movie it was, but it was Michael Epps, a dark skinned dude with big lips. He played off that movie when they were selling drugs and stuff. I forgot the name of the movie, but pretty much it was him and Michael Epps. And when money came involved and stuff, he was ready to he was ready to he didn't give no fuck about Michael Epps because he really wanted that money. So how much more when it come down and they was supposed to be homeboys? You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be days like that, man. You know, you so together like boys in the hood and stuff, but then you're gonna become sworn enemies. You know, it says but shall destroy their houses with swords and spoil their goods. Meaning they gonna come in, they know you got food, they gonna rob you. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna find out in that day that is a lot of the, gonna find out in your days who's actually been lusting over your wife. You know what I'm saying? Who been wanting to get at her. You know what I'm saying? You know? Cause ain't nobody finna care in that day. You know? It says because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. You know what I'm saying? So because of lack of bread, they're hungry. They know you got food. They know you that boy. They know you ain't finna give it up for free. They know that they need more than what they finna ask, you know what I'm saying, or hope that they finna get from you. So they gonna take it. They gonna take it. You know what I'm saying? And when it come down to this, it don't mean just Judah versus Issachar. It's gonna be Issachar versus Issachar. It's gonna be Judah versus Judah. You know what I'm saying? You know, the scripture where it says in Deuteronomy 28 and 53, I believe, or 54, it says that for he that is tender and delicate among you, his eye shall be evil towards his brother. You're gonna have the same tribes going against each other. You know what I'm saying? Because more than likely they know that the people that they're around are the ones who got the food and got this, that, and the other. And when somebody don't give it to you, they gonna want to take it. Especially if you hungry or your family hungry and you got your wife on your back and you got your children holding your legs like, we need to eat. That fucks with somebody's mental and emotion. You know what I'm saying? Where they'll do crazy things just to get what they need. And we're coming into those times, you know? Yeah, it says for great tribulation, you know? This is Second Esdras, chapter 6. Verse 24, it says, at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. You know what I'm saying? Friends, best friends are going to be sworn enemies. Gonna have the mentality, the deep hatred, the internal hatred as Jacob and Esau. You know what I'm saying? You know, they're gonna have that. It's like, man, what do you mean I can't get this? What do you mean I can't get that? You know what I'm saying? We've been boys with the woo. And you're gonna be in such dire situations and stuff that you ain't gonna understand. Like, man, he got a family too. He need to eat too. But it ain't gonna matter because it's like all that matters is you and your family, you know? Or you and yourself, you know. Nowadays, when you see it on the TV shows like Dr. Phil, Maury, this, that, and the other, you can have family members, this, that, and the other. They don't even care about their own family members, you know. You don't see how real selfish people are in them days, man. You're going to find out that family don't even care for you. You know, scriptures talk about how there's going to be betrayal amongst the family household as well, you know. And it says the earth shall stand in great fear, man. You know what I'm saying? Because that's going to be a fearful time. Like it says in Deuteronomy, I think 28. So like this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 65. Yeah, 65. It says, and among these nations, no, 66. No, 65. It says, and among these nations shalt thou find no ease, Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. Talking about how we got to constantly work, this, that, and the other and stuff. You know, as soon as we get off work, next thing you know, we got you aching from the day before, and now you still got extra work to do, right? And it's like your foot got no rest, you know what I'm saying? You know, and it says, but Yahweh shall give thee there a trembling heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind, especially in this time. Verse 66, it says, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of thy life. Just in the movie The Purge, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he is. You walking down the streets, you know what I'm saying? You see cars flipped over, cars on fire, you know what I'm saying? You see little shadows in the background and stuff. You hear little noises, you know, with the strange apparitions, you know what I'm saying? You see a group of guys over there. You see somebody getting murdered right in front of your face. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're hearing the dire screams of a woman or a child screaming at the top of their lungs and nobody coming to rescue. You know what I'm saying? You see somebody, you know, you see two people where you see somebody that can sit up here and rescue them, but yet they just too goddamn scared to go help because they fear for their lives. You know what I'm saying? That's what you finna see, man. You know, that's that great fear that's gonna be in them times, man. You know, they show you they show you all the sickness of these horror stories and stuff. You got people out here like that, man. You know what I'm saying? You have I forgot what it's called, but you got people who want to inflict damage and hurt people, and they get off, they get horny, they bust nuts off that, you know. Who want to actually do that, especially Esau, man. Esau want to take out his vengeance upon you know. Verse 60, back in verse 66, it says, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life. So you ain't gonna feel like, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna be able to be cool, you know, I'm gonna be walking down the street and everything's gonna be great, you know. It ain't gonna be like that. You're gonna be wondering if you'll be able to see daylight, like it says in the next scripture, verse 67. It says, in the morning thou shalt say, would the Most High it were even? And at the even thou shalt say, would the Most High it were morning? So you're gonna be asking the Lord, like, shoot, would I be able to make it in the morning? Would I be make it at night? You know what I'm saying? You know, you don't even have to be around people. You could be in a deserted place. You know, and the only thing about Jacob is that Jacob leaned upon Esau so much that they don't know how to do anything for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Here it is, you got all this technology and stuff, but like I was telling my OG a while back, you know what I'm saying, with my mom's, that when I was in the world, it's like, yeah, technology is all good and great and stuff, but the thing is, it's the biggest demise that we have, man. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because we don't know how to do shit. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how to do anything. You know? You know? And it says, for the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. You know what I'm saying? And for all the crazy things you're going to see and stuff, you know what I'm saying? It also says in Luke 21 that men's hearts failed them, man. You know what I'm saying? For the sight, man, you might see some strange apparition might come. You know what I'm saying? You might hear something huge coming your way, but you don't see nothing in front of you, and it's fast. And it's just do. Yeah, that's gonna scare the shit. It's gonna scare the shit out of you. You know what I'm saying? And people gonna have straight heart attacks off stuff like this. You know when somebody come up behind you and stuff, and you ain't see them, or somebody come around the corner and you didn't think nobody's gonna come around the corner, and it got your heart racing. You know what I'm saying? Pretty soon your heart gonna race so hard that it's just gonna stop. You know, for the certain individuals. You know. To wrap it up, this is Second Esdras, chapter 5, verse 8. You know, because not only would you have to worry about people, you got to worry about animals. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? In that movie, in the video game, The Last of Us, the monsters, the creepers, the runners, you know what I'm saying? The bloaters, you know what I'm saying? All of them represent cannibals. You know what I'm saying? You know? And people are going to become cannibals. You got people who are already into cannibalism that eat meat. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the beef out here, you know, the China or some Asian restaurant, they got a restaurant where I think it's like Eat My Brother or something like that, where they literally serve human meat, man. You know what I'm saying? You know? You know, and people are going to be willing in that day, especially when you hungry, you know? Like in the cartoons, you know, you start seeing your homies or your mans or whoever around you looking like turkeys and stuff when it's not a turkey, you know? Here it is, you got China up and down the street selling dog, man. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna come to that. Even in the game The Last of Us, they were selling rat meat. You know, they also show you that in Demolition Man for the poor that didn't want to take the chip, the mark of the beast, the RFID chip. You know what I'm saying? The Vera chip. What were they doing? They was in the sewers making rat burgers. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like that. But this is Second Esdras chapter 5 verse 8. It says, "There shall be confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be often sent out again." You know what I'm saying? The reason why it's going to be confusion is because you 2/3 are not going to wake up to what we're talking about, and you ain't going to be able to see it. So it's going to take you off guard like a thief in the night. And it says, "And the wild beasts shall change their places, and mischievous women shall bring forth monsters." Wild beasts, like in the movie one with Will Smith. Man. I forgot the name of it. I always quote it. You know, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, that I don't remember. The thing is that pretty much it was Will Smith and his dog. He lost his wife and his child. You know what I'm saying? And there was a disease that broke out and stuff. And pretty much them silver monsters. You know what I'm saying? Those monsters and great monsters was cannibals, you know what I'm saying? And there was a part where they thought they was finna grab a deer, but then the family lions came, you know what I'm saying? With Esau eating so-called white man quotes in the Bible, with him having with him changing when him steady trying to set up his enterprise and his money and poaching down certain animals that are used to feed the carnivores and stuff, they're gonna start looking for other food. That's why you see coyotes, you know what I'm saying? In America, well, in certain parts of America, like in the city and stuff. That's why you're gonna start seeing mountain lions. You know what I'm saying? Different carnivores that usually stay outside from the city. They're gonna come to the city because they're gonna want something to eat. You know what I'm saying? You know? And it says, "And mischievous women shall bring forth monsters." Here it is. You got the mentality. Most of these Jays, especially this younger generation underneath me, past the 90s babies. You know what I'm saying? And some of them in the 90s babies who got caught up in the madness that the Lord said he would smite them with. The thing is that you know, you step on somebody's shoes, that's your life. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's hat can be in a way. there was this so like if I ramble a little, but pretty much there was this incident at a church where this lady had a huge hat, and this Jake was so carnal. He was so carnal that he said her hat got in the way of his blessing. You know what I'm saying? So if you got somebody who mindset like that, which is crazy, you know what I'm saying, which is madness, you know what I'm saying, who's in that carnality, those gonna be those monsters running around in the streets with them guns. You know what I'm saying? You know, those going to be those spirits of vengeance. And if you want to serve Esau, Edom, and be prideful, this, that, and the other, you're going to suffer those casualties. You know what I'm saying? But the men of the Lord, you know what I'm saying, the elect, the hopeful elect, which I hope to be of, and of course other brethren as well, you know what I'm saying, who know this truth, we hoping to have that covering or to be able to receive them spiritual powers. You know what I'm saying? You know? Okay. All right, to wrap it up. This is Second Esdras chapter 16, verse 3. It says, a sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is set among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench the fire in stubble? When it have begun to burn, you know what I'm saying? So if you see a hungry lion, he's hungry, you know what I'm saying? You ain't, and he ain't eating days, and he see you, and his mind is playing tricks where it's like you look like his natural prey that he goes, you look like an antler or a deer, he's coming after you. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no stopping it, you know? It says, verse 7, it says, may one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer. You know what I'm saying? Like in the movie Scorpion King, when he was about to die, he pulled that arrow out of his back and stuff, and it seemed like nobody else can pull the string on his bow except for him. You know what I'm saying? You think, and the Pharaoh couldn't even stop that. And he was like a raw guy who could stop arrows with his bare hands, but he couldn't do it this time. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it is when it comes down to these plagues that's finna happen. Everything that happened in Egypt is going to happen here in America. You know, it says verse 8, it says the mighty Yahweh sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? Nobody, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said the Heavenly Father is the ultimate prophet, man. He said that all these things was going to say, he said all these things was going to happen, and they're most definitely going to happen, man. You know, regardless of anything, nobody's going to change it. You know, nobody's going to change it at all. This is Isaiah chapter 55, verse 11. It says, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in a thing whereunto I sent it. So it's going to happen. The Lord said it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? When you look in the past, when it come down to history, you know what I'm saying? All those things happen. So all the near future prophecies that's coming is going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Here it is. You got Nathaniel 7. You know what I'm saying? Talking about ain't no microchip. It's June. They already doing it. You know what I'm saying? They already giving it out, man. You know what I'm saying? They giving it voluntary. Pretty soon it's going to be mandatory. Because like it says in Revelations 13 and 16, it says he causes all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a mark in his right hand or to his left hand, that he may need that you won't be able to buy or sell. Meaning that it's going to become a currency. So they're going to get rid of the dollar. You know what I'm saying? Hyperinflation finna come. You know what I'm saying? Like how it happened in Venezuela, where you're going to be in the line trying to grab you some eggs, and you're going to have to pay for a dozen eggs $120. You know what I'm saying? You know, the Mr. Pure juices no longer will be 2 for the $5. They're going to be 2 for the $80. You know what I'm saying? You know, and people don't got money like that. So at a point when that keep rising, and you got to pay $10 a gallon for gas, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be ready to take that shit, man. You know? That's the times we coming in, and the Lord said it was going to happen, and it's not finna come back void. Meaning it's not going to be empty, man. You know that it's going to happen. You know, this is Isaiah 14 and 27. It says, "For Yahweh of hosts have purpose, and who shall disannual it?" You know that word disannual in the Hebrew is paror, the pa, the ra, and the ra, paror, and it says to break, frustrate. You know what I'm saying? Made ineffective. To be broken, to break. So the Lord said it. Who's gonna stop what the Lord has said? Nobody. It says, and his hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back? You know what I'm saying? So he declared that these things was going to happen, and they're going to happen. And there's nobody on this earth, you know what I'm saying, that's going to stop that, you know, because this is part of the movie that he has set, you know. It's last scripture. This is Malachi chapter 3. Salakia. You know, so it's gonna be horrible times, man. Very horrible times. You know. This is Malachi chapter 3, verse 6. It says, "For I am the Lord, I change not." You know what I'm saying? So everything that he declared that was going to happen is going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because prophecy means to say before. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord said it rising early, ever since the beginning. Ever since in the beginning. You know, in the Garden of Eden, it says well, ever since the beginning period. It says, "For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed," meaning that the Lord is not going to forsake the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? You know, the Lord is going to be for the elect, because those are the ones that's going to get saved on the first go round. You know what I'm saying? It is very highly advised that you do the work of the Yahweh Shem Yahshai. Come back to your heritage. Know that you're a Hebrew Israelite, that you're not an African American, that you're not black, that you're not a Mexican, that you're not a Puerto Rican, that you're not a Cuban, that you're not a Seminole Indian, that you're not a Native American Indian, that you were part of the 12 tribes of Israel. Come back to who you actually are and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And build in the scriptures, man. You know what I'm saying? You know? You know, like it says in Ezekiel 14 and 14. This is Ezekiel 14 and 14. It says, "Though these three men, Noah, Daniel, and Job, were in it, they should deliver but their own souls by their righteousness, saith the Lord power." You know what I'm saying? Because what moved them? Fear. You know what I'm saying? They believed in the words. They believed that it wasn't a fairy tale. They believed that the law, statutes, commandments was only for them. They knew who they were. They knew that they were special unto the Lord. You know what I'm saying? You know, and they feared what happened. You know what I'm saying? You know, like when it came down to Noah, man. You know, Noah was out there prophesying that it was going to rain. They was looking at him like, you crazy. They had a prideful spirit like the nation of Israel have today. And what ended up happening? They drowned. And the Lord had saved Noah and his household, because all they knew was the dew of the earth. You know what I'm saying? They ain't never known rain, you know, and the new rain that's coming is the ICBM nuclear missiles, you know what I'm saying? Which is going to happen. So I hope this video wasn't so long, and Salakia for the rambling, but I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the elect, which we hope to be. I hope this video was edifying, and shalom and a bar.